Good morning, friends. Coach Bob with you, and today is day 7 of Key West to Maine. Today we'll meet my actual goal, which is simply to go to Maine from Key West, Florida. We're definitely going to do that today. It's going to happen, unless, well, obviously something could happen, but the intent today is to be rolling into Maine this afternoon. It's not going to be as beautiful as we quite thought it was. You can see there's a lot of clouds. I'll show you what we're looking at here. And the radar picture is not as encouraging as we thought, but we're trusting the forecast right now. The forecast has been spot on the last 24 hours. The weather's just been doing weird things. It blows north, it blows east, it blows west, it blows south, it blows north, it dissipates, it builds. And it's just been kind of stalled right here over the New England area. Anyway, that's where it is, but we're gonna wing it. It says the forecast is gonna be okay. It's gonna be cold. It's like 40 degrees right now. I got a few layers on. I'm good to go. I'm set. Go upstairs, grab my jacket and Coach Vic and get ready to roll. It is currently 5:15 in the morning. We'll take these gloves inside and get the chill out of the gloves because they were in the trailer for the last couple of days. We got the Spyder locked up. So let's head up to the room and get Coach Vic, because I'm sure she is excited about riding in some cool air this morning, because you know she loves the cold. Do what?
I look terrible.
Sunshine.
I look terrible.
It's morning time.
I know.
Hey, the sun's up, so we're not riding in the dark.
Yeah.
Got hands full of items.
Can't be vain when we're riding in the cold
It
weather.
is 5:38, so it's early. I think we'll be on the road by 5:50.
I just missed 5:37. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. You ready to get on a motorcycle?
Yes, yes. I'm ready.
All right, so we're out by the Spyder. I don't think it's as cold as I thought it was going to
It
be.
doesn't feel as cold, but I'm going to be prepared.
Once you get moving, the air is going to be a little more frigid feeling. I think we're just getting a little more acclimated to the cool air up here, which is a good thing. But yeah, so the radar, like I said, looks meh, but we'll be fine. We had a couple of cups of coffee this morning. It's almost 6 o'clock. We're going to be on the road before 6.
I was ready before 5:30, just so you know. On the record, I was ready for 5:30.
Being ready at 5:30, being down by the motorcycle with all of your things together is not the same thing, honey. I love you.
That was not very nice. It was 5:20 something, so if I would have walked down here, it would have been 5:30.
Yeah, it would have been.
But you were finishing your coffee.
Right, okay, yeah.
On the record.
In other words, it was my fault.
I'm not blaming. I'm just saying I was ready.
You're not blaming, but it's still my fault.
I was ready by
is what you're saying.
5:30.
You're not blaming me, but it's my fault. Is that what you're saying? I do want to say this, and I really do, and I mean this. I'm picking on Coach Vic this morning for a reason, because I'm about to compliment her, and I didn't want her to get the big head. The last 2 days, I have watched her check weather, update me as the weather changes. She's checking it on her phone. I've watched her pack her bags more thoroughly. I've watched her load her saddlebag, and all of the things that she's doing. I didn't think, honestly, that she could become a better travel partner than she was last time.
Oh my goodness.
But she has. I mean, she's becoming not just a travel partner, but an integral part of a travel team. It's more than just a partnership now. We are a team on this. And it is it's making things, honestly, a lot less stressful for me, because she is so engaged in it right now.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you that I said that, or did you even realize that you're doing that you're taking a more active role in the traveling? Did you realize you're doing that?
No, I did not. No.
Well, let me tell you, she is. She really is. And so I wanted to take a moment just to comment on that and give her a little bit of encouragement and let her know that I notice it.
Oh, okay. Well, I notice what you do. I just don't tell you. He does everything.
We have our roles, and she is just actively moving and growing, and her role is changing, and she really is becoming quite the travel person. So awesome thing. She was like, "Where's the book?" I'm like, "Well, what do you need?" She goes, "I just want to review the book, Bob." I'm like, "Wow."
Oh my goodness.
She never looked at that book before, y'all. Never. She's got all of the cities in her weather application, constantly updating and keeping me updated. I mean, really, really impressive. I think she's getting excited about going to Maine. Today, today, we go to Maine.
I know, we'll be in Maine.
Key West to Maine.
Let's go. Let's get on the road.
Let's do this. All right, quick visual inspections this morning. Blinkers, yes. If you're asking, do I do this every day? Yes, I do. And then I can see normally the glare from the brake light. And behind it, everything looks great. Lights look good. And a quick high beam dipper. Dear Lord, thank you for another beautiful day. God, give us a safe trip, and we're just going to have a blast. In Jesus' name, amen. Get us a little music going. Now I have to go to Bluetooth real quick. What do you say we go to Maine? I want to get this out because that's going to be a problem if not. For you old men riders, yeah, get that wallet out of your pocket. This guy's camping out here. We'd save some money if we had that $100,000 van. Already got a little mist on the windshield. It is misty this morning. We're going to make a right and snap a U-ey. Here we go. We got some drizzle going this morning. Ain't happy about that yet. I mean, we ain't even out of the parking lot. We'll be fine. Says that portions of the trip today is on toll roads, so we'll figure all that out as well. We got to go north. We don't want to go south. We are at the moment. All right, well, I had my GPS set up, and after a review, it actually popped me off the interstate for a little while here around, what was it, I guess Dixon or something like that. Took us out on this little road here, beautiful road. But we've been in the rain the whole time, sometimes heavier than others. Right now it's just a drizzle. There again, we waited it out, and it's still here, so you can only wait so long. Beautiful, beautiful ride this morning, though. Woo. Yeah, the road just kind of leaned and dipped. Oh, we weren't like in a wreck, but it was weird. The road just dropped like that. Front tire fell in a hole. You know, this is what I would imagine Pennsylvania would look like. So we were back on 81 North. We're heading up towards Binghamton still. But I'm going to tell you, it is beautiful. And this road is just spectacular. Very, very little traffic. In fact, virtually no traffic. Oh, we got the police up here. I have noticed, I will say this also, that in this area there's a lot of places where rocks have fallen on the road. So whether this guy's getting somebody that was hauling down this hill, it looks like that's what he's doing. It would be easy if you were in a car to be moving pretty fast. We're just plugging along. That's one thing I always tell Coach Vic. It's nice about traveling on the Spyder because I'm not flying, and I don't have to worry about that guy. That's the guy with the trailer that blew by us earlier. He was doing about 75. Speed limit here is 65. So, you know, be careful if you're up in these areas. They'll get you. The GPS, I think, routed me back on my course. I don't have the GPS playing through my helmet. I don't like too many distractions. I just have Coach Vic in my ear, and I have my music through the speakers, and I read the GPS as it prompts me, and it's synced to my wristwatch, so it will vibrate telling me when to turn. You know, it's funny to me. I think we got off course, and it just ran us around that one little highway and put us right back on course. The CanAm Spyder accompanied with the Zumo XT. If you're touring, this is the perfect setup. If you really want to do big miles and you want to do it safely, and you want to be able to know where you are with rock solid, stable GPS. We've had 0 drops on this trip. It's been wonderful. All right, well, enjoy the ride with us as we make way to Binghamton, New York. Yeah, he had plastic bags wrapped around his legs with tape. Yeah.
gotta do what you gotta do. He's probably going to work and doing something the way it looked. I'll tell you, you know, sometimes when you have that motorcycle that's your transportation, it ain't fun if that's all you got to get around on.
Yeah, Coach Vic's inside changing a little bit. She got pretty wet. The rain got pretty heavy there for a while. It's cold for this type of weather. It's cold. You know, you really don't want to be riding in the 40s when it's raining the way it is. It keeps looking like it's going to burn off and it's going to clear up, but it just keeps hanging in there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my rain gear on. I didn't ride in really my rain gear. I didn't think it was going to be quite this bad. No worse for the wear. I know you hear me say that a lot, but really that's how I feel. I'm just going to put on my rain breeches and get loaded up, and we'll do a little chat, see how she's feeling when she gets out here. All right, so it's been wet the whole time. Looks like there's a break in it right now, but we're going to go ahead and suit up.
I got wet. I had to go change all my shirts because I had a hole somewhere. And
she had a gap right there in the front, and it leaked right now. So had a hood on it.
This is a t-shirt I have after my number now.
Oh, okay. All right. You want my?
No, I won't take yours. No.
You can have it.
No, I don't want yours.
I'll give it to her.
No, I'm not taking yours. I'm not taking it.
Feel my finger.
No.
I have one finger. See that finger right there? It's super white. That's because I had a compound fracture on that finger a long time ago, and that finger doesn't have any blood flow to it. It just when it gets cold, it just freezes and hurts.
The sun's trying to peek out.
It's trying to.
Yep.
It's going to be a good ride. Oh, don't squeeze it. Don't squeeze it. Don't. I've got the rain gear on. I figure now that I put the rain gear on,
now
it'll stop raining.
That's how you do it. That's exactly how it works.
We got about 150, 160 miles to Albany, New York, which is our next stop.
Oh, we gotta go that far?
Yep, that's our longest stretch of the day. So about 150 miles. That's all we're looking at. It's going to be
2 hours. Well, we might stop before that.
We're not stopping.
We might.
No, we're not.
I don't think so.
You're going to be fine. You have your communicator. You can listen to your radio show.
I've got it
Life
ready
is
to
good.
on. So
Okay.
as soon as we get on there, I'm gonna turn it on.
I'm not.
Dallas will be calling you here in a few minutes.
Yes, I might. Anyway, so I just finished talking to a fella. He was a retired officer, PhD guy, real bright guy.
Remind me of my pop.
Nice people everywhere you go. All right, you ready to get on this wet machine and cruise on down the highway?
I want to get my helmet on and get bundled up.
Let's go to Albany.
The thing I'm going to invest in is a heated vest.
I thought you were done with the heat.
I want a heated vest.
She ain't done with the heat.
And then for this heat, summer I want a cooling vest. What do you call it?
That's just called a cooling vest.
Cooling vest. So I want a heated vest next.
Heated vest and a cooling vest.
Yes.
Okay.
That will work.
Hopefully the camera's not shaking too bad. My hands are kind of cold. As we cross the countryside of New York, yes, that's what I said, the countryside of New York. You know, as a typical Southern boy, and I think this is probably true of a lot of Southerners who have never been to New York State, we just imagine that all of New York is New York City. But really, that couldn't be further from the case.
You know, I learned this a few years ago when my son was in the military doing prototype training for the Navy for a nuclear reactor training up there in upstate New York near Clifton Park. And we went up there and we stayed in Albany, and it was so beautiful. It was so quaint. I remember going out for a run in July. Yeah, I was a lot more fit then, and it was just so cool. I mean, the air temperature was cool. The landscape was cool. The architecture, the buildings, the people, the parks, everything was just amazingly beautiful. It really left me in a state of shock somewhat because I never saw it coming. You know, on the way back from that trip, we swung by New York City, and I will tell you, as far as I'm concerned, from one old dumb country boy, give me these beautiful green countrysides out here, give me these rocky structures, and the nice slow pace of upstate New York with wonderful and beautiful people. Now, I'm not saying there's not beautiful people in New York. I'm sure there are millions of them. I just prefer to hang out with the smaller groups. So it's still cold and the weather is just damp and nasty. And Coach Vic, she's trembling a little bit. You know, it was funny. We had a comment made on a video here recently that Coach Vic was not prepared for the cold weather. What most folks don't understand is that when you're a paraplegic, your body doesn't regulate temperature like ours does. Her body works differently than ours. A jacket that would keep me warm or even keep you warm, it won't work right for her. Her circulation is dampened by her paralysis. Her nervous system does not send the proper signals back and forth. So different things that happen within our bodies when we get cold don't happen in hers. And therefore, she ends up feeling brutally cold, hypothermic somewhat. And it doesn't have to be very cold to have that impact on her. I would be lying if I were to tell you that I'm not worried about her, because I am. Every day has gotten a little harder for her. And even though we took a 0 day, we know today is going to be fraught with challenges. It does look like the weather is going to get better as we approach Vermont. Let's just pray it does. But for now, let's just enjoy the ride as we head to our next stop around Albany, New York.
All right, so we are basically in the greater Albany, New York area right now. Coach, pretty wet, pretty cold.
Yeah, I got all bundled up, all nice warm clothes when we left the hotel, and I was wet. Couldn't figure out how I got wet. My buff was wet, my back of me was wet. Changed all my clothes in the bathroom. Driving again, and like quickly, I'm like freezing. I'm wet everywhere. Didn't know that I was wet, it was just cold. I come back, get off the CanAm, go to the bathroom, I'm wet again. The vent on my helmet, I think, has been open the whole time.
Yep, that'll do it.
So I didn't know. There's a front vent and there's a top vent. So I'm gonna go figure those out before we get back on the
I'll make sure
CanAm.
you're all closed up, ready to
So
go for
all
a
my
run.
clothes are wet. I've got my last set of dry clothes on.
We have been in rain the entire time. We are 230 miles in roughly, and it's been in rain the whole time. It's gonna thin out now.
My gloves got soaking wet.
She's gonna be wearing socks as mittens. But we're hoping that things are gonna dry out now and not be as big of a challenge for us. But if they are, they are. I mean, we'll make it. But I actually took my rain gear off. I stowed it.
You done? I'm putting mine back on.
I think it's gonna be fine. It's starting to warm up a little bit. We're hitting 50 degrees now. So I think it's going to be 58 in the next 2 hours.
Well, I hope the sun's not peeking out anymore.
No, the sun's not peeking out yet, but we've got high hopes. And we're about to hit some beautiful stretches of road.
Well, the road, it's been the landscape.
It's been beautiful, hasn't it?
It has, it really
This has been hard for
This
you to
is-
enjoy.
Northern New York's very nice. New York is nice. You know, it's pretty.
I do want to say that Coach Vic, day one, I am done with the hot. And then the next day, I am done with the cold. And
Now
then the
I'm done with the rain. And done's not the right word to use, but I am done. I'm saying that. Finished with the rain. Now, I will tell you right now, I will not go in snow. I'm not even gonna say that we're done. I won't even travel if your snow is a bit around.
And there's snow available?
If there's snow in the forecast, you won't even, no, I am not doing snow.
Well, one of the things that was kind of funny, I had a lady pull up beside in an SUV, Coach Vic. I got her loaded up, and so she could come in here and put on some dry clothes, and I was out there arranging things in the trailer and all of that stuff, and she goes, when I saw you hug that woman on the back of that thing, I had a tear well up in my eye.
Oh.
And then I picked Vic up, put her in a wheelchair, and then she goes, you, my friend, are the best.
I'm not the best just because I'm sitting here all cripplified. He's the best because he's giving me a hug.
It was a beautiful hug, apparently. I didn't realize that was such a good-looking hug.
Always.
All right, so what we have to do is we decided to do this inside because it is still cold outside, and I wanted Coach Vic to warm her little bones up. Set them little bones. Warm her little bones up. And
I'll tell you what, I was working out before we left on this trip. If it wasn't for the working out, I wouldn't be able to do. Strength has just helped me because my arms actually got frozen. I couldn't use my hand; they were numb. I couldn't grasp.
Yeah.
But
Cold,
just to be able to move, to be a little stronger, helps a lot.
But what we're going to do, we decided to sit in here, drink a cup of coffee, let Coach Vic thaw out. So I'm going to run out to the Spyder here in a minute and pull it around to the gas pumps, and then she's going to push out to the gas pumps in her wheelchair. Once I get her jacketed up, because I want her to be jacketed up before she goes out there, because it looks like you get gas and hop back on the expressway, and so I'm going to have to, as usual, I'm going to have to be a little out of the mainstream and get her loaded up and all that stuff. We're going to have to find a place to pull kind of to the side to do
Well,
that.
can't you spin back around?
You're not supposed to, it's one way.
Oh, so I didn't know that.
Anyway, we'll figure it out. We always do. Adapt and overcome, baby. Adapt and overcome.
Yeah. So where's the CanAm right now?
It's over there. And the gas pump is right there. And there's a door right there to get out to the gas pump.
Okay.
So you're set. We're A-OK. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So let me go get the Spyder and get Vic all bundled up so that we can get on the road here.
Yep.
Daylight's a burning.
It's burning.
As the day drew on and the ride continued, the landscape just got more and more beautiful. And as we entered the beautiful state of Vermont, and man, let me tell you, if you've never been here, you gotta come. It truly is amazing. But it seemed that even the beautiful landscape could not get the cold off of Coach Vic's mind or out of her body. So it's time to stop for just a minute and not chill, but de-chill. Let's warm Coach Vic up.
Are you gonna be okay, baby? A little button nose.
So are these things locked?
I can open them. What do you need?
Well, I think if I get the fleece out of there and I stuff it in my chest, it'll take the coldness from hitting me.
Coach Vic has 15 layers of clothes on and is still cold. You look like Pat. Oh, what was the Saturday Night Live? Pat.
I don't care. I'm cold.
You done with the cold?
I'm so over it.
It's gonna be okay.
Alright, that might work. Come on. I don't care. I want to just go.
Alright, you ready? We are on the legendary Vermont 9. Yes. It is beautiful. It's cold, but it's beautiful. Here we go.
As the Vermont countryside grew even more and more beautiful, Coach Vic reached up, put her arms around my waist, and pulled me close. She said something to the tune of, "There's no one else I'd rather be here with than you." You know, it's moments like this when you ride that everything stops. It's just a beautiful picture of what your life is. Everything that you imagined it could be, all rolled into one on a cold, dark, and dreary day, with the perfect person and the perfect landscape. And as we rolled into the small town of Wilmington, Vermont, we couldn't help but think about the places that we had been earlier in our lives. You know, this place reminds me a lot of Georgia. Yeah, I know you're probably surprised, but Dahlonega, Georgia, up in North Georgia, is absolutely beautiful. It's like a little German village, and it's wonderful. If you've never been, you need to go. The only difference here, the landscape looks the same, but the architecture is dramatically different. Everything up here screams New England. Everything. The trees, the leaves, the architecture, the people, the attire, and everything in between says that you are in New England, and you need to draw that air in and enjoy it with the perfect person. And that is exactly what we intend to do.
All right, so we are at a rest area just between Concord and Boston.
Concord and Boston.
We're gonna be snapping kind of a U-ey and heading back up, but this just does a little dipsy doodle, keeps us on a faster moving road.
A little dipsy doodle.
Yep.
Then we're on our way to Portland finally in 98 miles.
Yeah, about 98 miles. Yep. Shouldn't be a bad ride.
I discovered, like earlier I told you, my helmet was leaking, had the vent open. Then I put my jacket on and realized my jacket was wet on the inside, so I'm riding all this time with a wet jacket, so I put my other one on. it's been cold. I have not been able to get warm. It's not even like freezing outside. It's
just that wet,
The
cold.
rain
Yeah.
got my clothes all wet. So
Yep. Well, we're gonna cut this a little short because we are in a hurry. We got to get to our destination. It's running late. The rain slowed us down big time. And
but the roads have been nice.
Roads have been beautiful. I'm going to tell you,
scenery.
Vermont 9, probably the most beautiful road I've ever ridden in my life.
It was very pretty.
It was
yes.
wonderful. So we'll talk about that when we get to where is it?
Portland.
Portland. Yeah, my brain's not working. All right, let's do this.
Okay.
It was absolutely apparent after crossing the Maine state line that everything looks different. Even the grass looks different compared to what I'm used to. Everything's flattened out somewhat compared to New Hampshire and Vermont. The trees, they just have everything has a different look to it. I also can't believe how green everything is in light of how cool it is. But it really, really is beautiful. You know, last year when Coach Vic and I mentioned at the end of our East to West Coast trip, our California Dreaming trip as we call it, I mentioned the idea of Key West to Maine, and we considered it, and it just became something that was ingrained in our psyche that we had to do. Every time we go on a big tour, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe when you reach your destination that you're there. We're already discussing what's next. What we're thinking next year, we're going to pick an event or a place. We're going to go to that place and we're going to explore it for 3 or 4 days, as opposed to a point A to point and back trip, which I love the driving, I love the travel. But now it's time for Coach Vic to get what she wants. And I think she's doggone well earned it after this trip. And what she wants is to find a great place to go and explore. So somewhere down below, doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter how far away it is, it just doesn't matter. There are no limiting factors in my mind. Put the place that you think we should go and name 3 things in that place that we should see. Well, enjoy the ride as we finish up the last section of today. We're going to be in Portland, Maine today. And tomorrow, we're driving up to mile marker 1 in Fort Kent. So be sure and join us for that as well. All right, let's smell the fresh air, feel the cool breeze, and enjoy this last stretch before we call it a day. All right, so we are here. Got the Spyder all secured. Now to go up to the room. Coach Vic's already up there. Oh, hey, you look cold. You look tired.
I am. I'm ready for a shower to chill.
You are? Okay. Yeah, this is the dump that Coach Vic put us in right here.
The dump.
All right, so here's the tour. Let me walk into the other room.
Oh,
Here is the entryway, and we've got our little
Little workstation here where I'll be working, doing some editing tonight. Sofa, television. Come through here.
Room.
There's a restroom with a nice roll-in shower, huh?
Use that.
Most of the rooms that we have aren't really accessible like this. This is really nice. And then looks like a queen size bed.
Yeah, well.
Coach Vic is the queen. Back where we started, just like that.
It's bigger than my first house.
Yeah. Hello friends, it is, what time is it?
Almost 10.
It's about 10 o'clock at night, and Coach Vic,
Got sick.
she got sick today.
Yeah.
She's not feeling real well.
I got a little sick today and I'm not feeling the greatest. I have to fly, if I fly home, don't be disappointed.
I actually did offer today to buy her an airline ticket to go home.
Well, I'm not feeling too good. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
And for me to ride it on my own. I even talked about her staying here and me riding up to Fort Kent by myself and returning to here, which would make a 630 mile day.
No, you're not doing that by yourself. That's crazy.
But she doesn't
No.
want me to do that.
No, you're not doing that. That's a 12-hour day.
It would be a long day,
No,
but I'd be okay.
you can't do that by yourself. I mean, you could, but I'm not. There's no way you're doing that.
Okay. All right. Well,
Depends on how I feel in the morning.
she may change her mind. All of a sudden, the sacrifice for Coach Bob won't be too great. So today was an interesting day. I won't say it was a necessarily a hard day or an easy day. It was an interesting day. This trip has been fraught with challenges from the very, very first day. It was super hot down in Florida, a lot of traffic. Coming up here, we dealt with major heat day 1. We dealt with major cold day 2. And rain, and we dealt with a lot of rain today. We cut almost all the rain on the cameras because it was so bad that we just didn't want to destroy our cameras. I mean, it was pretty ugly. And the temperature ranged from 42 to around 62, and it would go up and down all day.
And I couldn't get warm. Like I said earlier, I had the vent open, didn't realize on the helmet, didn't realize all my clothes were getting wet. Then the first time you told me, no, it was the second.
Yeah, let her know, or ask her your vent's open.
Cause I changed clothes again, and the vent was open, like, duh. And then the third time I realized I kept that jacket on, the jacket was wet, so I finally put my other jacket on and finally got the most warm on the last leg, but I still wasn't, still chilly.
We spent a lot of time on the Spyder today because we did have to stop and start quite a bit and do things. But basically today we had estimated 466 mile day. It was 465.8 miles. So I was only 0.2 of a mile off on my estimate.
Wow.
Vermont, let's see, it was Vermont, was it 9? That is probably the most beautiful stretch of road I've ever ridden on.
Yes.
Even in the conditions the way they were, it was absolutely spectacular.
Was that the roads, was that the bumpy roads part?
No, that was actually on one of the interstates coming through New York.
Okay.
And there was a rough part of the interstate where they were doing some construction and repairing some expansion joints. And for about 10 miles, it just beat us to death. It was like riding down a cattle path.
But Vermont was really, really pretty.
It was beautiful.
Yes, it was. It had the nice little creeks going down.
Yeah, New Hampshire was nice. All of the people were nice. We had 2 people recognize us today. Very interesting stuff. So it's interesting, you're riding along and you have somebody go, hey, Coach Bob.
That was pretty funny.
Coolest thing. So mileage today, like I said, 465.8 for a total of 2,861.0 miles.
Wow.
So 2861. Tomorrow will be 450 is the estimate. 130 miles to Bangor from here, and then from Bangor to Holton another 120. From Holton to Fort Kent another 100. I'm estimating 310 to 350 from here to Fort Kent, and then from Fort Kent to Holton, which is where we intend on lodging tomorrow night. Total, I'm guessing 450 miles, somewhere around there, probably a little less than that, but that'll be the maximum. So it'll be just a smidgen shorter than we were today.
Oh my goodness.
With Coach Vic feeling the way she is, there are another couple of options that we will be discussing. One of them is we can run through Holton on the way up. I could drop her off at the motel room, thus cutting her trip 200 miles shorter. And
That's possible.
And I think if we tell the people there that she's having some issues and she's paralyzed, it will probably extend a hand of kindness and let her do an early check-in if a room's available.
It'd be nice.
I hate that she's not feeling good. It's been a hard trip for Coach Vic. She does not like to complain.
I didn't want to tell her I was feeling queasy while we were driving. I was feeling queasy.
She's been struggling the last 3 days. The temperature, I think the radical changes in temperature, the radical changes in field elevation, and the rain. I think she's been somewhat hypothermic a couple of times. She overheated once. It's been hard on her body.
Yeah, but
And let's just say this. The paralyzed body does not regulate its temperature
no.
like our bodies do.
But I still keep acting like it does.
I know you do. And so, you know, it's one of those things where we've had a lot of people ask why we tour alone. That's one of the reasons why. When we have to stop, we have to stop. It's not a matter of saying, well, we're tired. It's not like that. It's way more complex than that.
Anyway.
Any epiphanies today there, young lady?
Well, you'd already said everything. Check your helmets when you put it on when it's raining. I'm glad I brought double extra clothes because they're all drying right now because everything got wet.
Yeah, I got everything dry by now. I've already put it all out on heaters. Got all the batteries recharged, communicators, batteries for cameras, all the cameras. I got them all dried off. All of the film, which was because we had to use several cameras. They got wet, killed batteries. All of the time sequence things, everything was out of order. I had 42 videos. 42 sections, and they were all in this crazy alphabet soup, just crazy mixed up order.
Yeah.
So I've spent a couple of hours organizing that. That's why I'm still wearing the clothes I had on this morning. Haven't had my shower yet. Need to clean up. Rise and shine time for me is 4:30. Hope to be on the road 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm gonna grab my phone and let's look at the weather for tomorrow. So looking at the weather for tomorrow, let's go to where we are, which is Portland, Maine. In the morning at 5:30 a.m. it will be 48 degrees, 0% chance of rain and cloudy, overcast. Start moving up to...
Next up, Bangor.
All right, so next up will be Bangor, Maine. By the time we get there, how far was that? That was about 2 hours down the road. So if we leave at 5:30, we'll just say 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 55 degrees. So like it felt today, no sunshine as of yet. Everything's showing totally overcast. Honestly, we saw less than 30 seconds of actual sun today. That's not stretching the truth either. Holton, Maine, you got to figure that is another couple hours. So we'll say 10 a.m. 61 degrees, partly cloudy. And then we've got another 100 up to Fort Kent. So that would be, I'm guessing, sound about right, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, there it is.
So Fort Kent, Maine at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, 68 degrees, overcast.
It changed. It was sunny, changed it.
So it looks like tomorrow, although will be a nice day, it could be overcast tomorrow. Could be. Get rid of that. That concerns me because even if the temperature is right with the overcast, it's going to feel cooler than it is. We'll play it by ear. We'll figure it out. We'll drop you off in Holton. I'll ride up to Fort Kent.
If we can get dropped off, if I get dropped off there, hopefully.
And if you feel sick, we'll stay here and we just won't do it.
I hate for you not to do it. We'll see how I feel in the morning.
If you're sick, I'm not going to leave you. If you're actually sick, I'm not going to leave you. It's going to be all right. So that's where we are. These are things that happen when you travel, real things that happen when you travel. We don't want to sugarcoat anything. We want people that do tour to understand how it really is. Not just, you know, I've said how YouTube is not real. We really do try to keep it as real as we possibly can for you guys, to where you see as much as you can.
I mean, it was tough, but I also know I went from Key West to Maine, so I'm satisfied with what I did. I made it to Key West to Maine.
Our goal was to go Key West to Maine.
And I'm excited I actually did that. I did it, so.
You did it.
It's crazy, crazy as it is. And I do like riding. It's just right now I'm like, yeah.
Well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get some rest, get up early in the morning and assess the situation then, one step at a time. Remember when you tour, it's 1 mile at a time. It is literally 1 mile at a time. That's how you handle it. If you do that, you'll go far. I had someone ask me earlier in a comment today about how do you get to where you don't hurt? Your legs and your hips and your butt don't hurt. They were struggling riding just an hour or two. That they couldn't imagine doing 10 hours or 12 hours. Truth is, you do it 1 mile at a time. You just do it 1 mile at a time.
He has an insane amount of endurance for pain. I think I'm like him, but the female version. Because back in my walking years, I would do marathons and race really hard. And I'm still crazy. And here I am doing this. And I did marathons, 2-hour road rate on a bike. People think it's crazy. So I got pretty high endurance, I think.
You do?
So it's hard. It really is, but you have to hit. It's here.
And the truth is, we don't want to admit it, we're not as young as we used to be.
I'm a year older tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's Coach Vic's birthday. So not only is she not feeling good, disappointed that she may not be able to make the last leg of the trip, but it's her birthday.
Tomorrow.
So make sure you wish her a happy birthday. I know when the video comes out, her birthday will be long gone. That's okay.
That's okay.
You say happy birthday down there and encourage her to continue to tour with me. I know she will, but I really have been concerned about her this week. And she's probably gotten more hugs and chuckles and squeezes of affirming than she ever has on a trip with me.
A lot of people are really nice coming up north. I had people running to the doors to open them for me. It was actually pretty cool. Running to open every door that I've gone through.
Yeah.
It's been really nice.
It's been very nice.
Yeah. So all the people in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine.
Thank you.
It's been really cool how they just run up to the door.
Thank you, New England.
Yeah, it's been really nice.
For just being wonderful to us. All right, well, I think we've said all we need to say tonight. We're both tired. Time for me I got to offload this video and get it ready to go for tomorrow. I've probably got another 45 minutes to do. It's going to put me into bed at 11.
Ooh.
So we'll try to get Coach Vic to head on in there.
Passed out by then.
Go to sleep.
It's been good. It's been real. Just because I'm not feeling well and it seems hard, don't be discouraged to try these adventures because they are fun.
They are fun.
They are. And the funny thing is, when we looked at the map, looked at the weather, a couple weeks ago, like, this is the time to go. It was all sunny. And then it all changes at the last minute.
And it seems to be changing every single day.
Yeah.
Every day they tell us what it's going to be and we get up the next morning and that's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It's okay. Remember my Spyder and motorcycle friends, whether you're a 3-wheeler or 2-wheeler, 1 mile at a time. 1 mile at a time. And the thousands will take care of themselves. Until next time, go out by the motorcycle of your dreams. Eat right.
Take care of yourself.
And remember, if you're not having fun,
you're doing it wrong.
That's a fact. And we will see you on the road real soon. Now you go seize the day. Good night.